Hello, and thank you for watching. Today I'm going to do a presentation regarding a primary source for my US Crisis and Expansion course at UCI. The primary source is titled Dorothea Dix, Defense of Mentally Ill, 1843. So some key concepts that can be considered regarding a course today would be Dorothea Dix, Seneca Falls Convention, Declaration of Sentiments, Enlightenment, and Republican Motherhood. So here's a little bit of background regarding Dorothea Dix and her picture as well. Dorothea Dix was a middle-class white woman who afforded the career of educator. Volunteering at hospitals led her to experience and observe the horrendous conditions inside asylums, jails, almshouses, which are like poorhouses, and other facilities. After years of visiting facilities and taking note of her findings, she brought her observations and arguments to Massachusetts legislation for improvement in societal mental health. Dorothea Dix was a lifelong activist who fought for change in the medical field. She challenged 19th century notions of mental illness, recruited nurses during the Civil War, and revolutionized modern nursing practices. This is a direct quote that I got from the National Women's Hall of Fame 2025, but it's a website. Okay, so here is a specific quote from the primary source that I have cited, and I will read it. I come to present the strong claims of suffering humanity. I come to place before the legislature of Massachusetts the condition of miserable, the desolate, the outcast. I come as the advocate of helpless, forgotten, insane, and idiotic men and women, of beings sunk to a condition from which the most unconcerned would start with real horror, of beings wretched in our prisons and more wretched in our almshouses. So Dorothea Dix here is focusing on what she witnessed personally after 2 years of going to asylums, jails, almshouses, and different types of facilities. So it's basically a call to action to the legislature of Massachusetts with very powerful words, kind of appealing to the pathos through the way she describes the individuals that are actually inside the facilities and she actually witnessed as well. So very strong words, very paints a very kind of dark picture as well. Yeah. So this is another quote that I cited. I applied myself diligently to trace the causes of these evils and sought to apply remedies. As one obstacle was surmounted, fresh difficulties appeared. Every new investigation has given depth to conviction that is only be decided, prompt, and vigorous legislation, the evils to which I refer and which I shall proceed more fully to illustrate can be remedied. So here, she basically shares that during her experiences inside the facilities, the almshouses, the asylums, she would work on trying to, resolve what she would see, maybe helping some of the patients. But whenever she solved something, something else came up. So basically, solving one problem, two pop up or three pop up kind of thing. So it seemed like a never-ending cycle of trying to remedy things. So this is why she feels like the best way to resolve the issue in general would be through legislation as a broader decision to make a more of a uniform decision to affect states and territories in general. Here's another quotes. Here are two other quotes that I decided to use. These actually emphasize what she actually saw, specific people and specific cities. So Lincoln, a woman in a cage; Medford, one idiotic subject chained and on a close stall for 17 years; Pepperell, one often doubly changed, hand and foot; another violent, several peaceable now; Brookfield, one man caged, comfortable; Granville, one often closely confined, now losing the use of his limbs from want of exercise; Charlemagne, one man caged; Savoy, one man caged; Lennox, two in the jail, against whose unfit condition their jailer protests; Dedham, the insane, disadvantageously placed in the jail; in the almshouse, two females in stalls situated in the main building, lie in wooden bunks filled with straw, always shut up. One of these subjects is supposed curable. The overseers of the poor have declined giving her a trial at the hospital, as I was informed on account of expense. So some pretty graphic images are painted here regarding of her first-hand account of people she actually saw and their situation. So a lot of chains, a lot of cages, a lot of malpractice, a lot of bad conditions. I noticed the word peaceable, so I know during previous history they would take extreme measures to do certain things to individuals who struggled with mental health, like lobotomies and other very like I think electroshock therapy, but like a more gruesome extent, not like what we have, not like the good treatments we have now. So it could be possible that's how they lead them to be peaceable as well. And then, I guess the poorhouses were even worse than the asylums. As noted, there's females in stalls with straw. Um, Professor Marcelo kind of noted this in her lecture as well, that like horses. But yeah, very, very graphic and very sad as well. So this is the last quote that I will be citing. It's her call for action. Um, Basically her appealing to the legislation of Massachusetts. So she says, "Man of Massachusetts, I beg, I implore, I demand pity and protection for these of my suffering, outraged sex. Fathers, husbands, brothers, I would supplicate you for this boon. But what do I say? I dishonor you, divest you at one of Christianity and humanity. Does this appeal imply distrust? If it comes burdened with a doubt of your righteousness in this legislation, then blot it out. While I declare confidence in your honor, not less than your humanity, here you will put away the cold, calculating spirit of selfishness and self-seeking, lay off the armor of local strife and political opposition here and now, for once forgetful of the earthly and perishable. Come up to these halls and consecrate them with one heart and one mind to works of righteousness and just judgment." So here she appears, she appeals through ethos and pathos to the like the ethical aspect, saying how could these things be correct, also to the religion, Christianity, and their humanity in general, and pathos emotionally as well, because it's the pictures she painted are one of grievance and suffering and sadness, and basically telling the men of legislature in Massachusetts to look beyond themselves and consider their fellow mankind, especially the ones that are she has mentioned. So a general call to arms, call for action, appealing to different forms and also kind of gender. I think Professor Marcelo also noted this, that basically saying like how she was a woman and imploring these men who are in a position that can do things as well. So, but in my opinion, I think she is very powerful for standing up to these men, especially in the day and time where women didn't have rights. They were fighting for their rights, civil rights, suffrage. So for her to go out of her way and, advocate for these individuals that she really didn't need it. There was no need, she had her career and could have lived happily, but decided to do this and do something better for humanity as well. That actually led her to be the head nurse, as I mentioned previously in her bio, and just was an activist for the majority of her life as well. So I commend Dorothea Dix for this this mission, this journey, as someone who is an advocate for mental health as well. She's a heroine to me, so I was very grateful to learn about her story. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.